Hello, everybody. For those that don't know me, I'm Gunnar. I've decided I'm going to start doing a series of, I suppose you might call them vlogs or something, focusing on mental health. Today's one, I'm going to be looking at depression. Sorry, my program started acting funny. I've got to see what's up with that. It's an ad saying holiday special. Uh, Thank you. So, yeah, anyway, back to the topic at hand. Today's one I'm going to be focusing on depression, and I woke up this morning not feeling too great. My house is a mess. I've been trying to work on it and get things sorted out, and it's not an easy process, but while I was tidying up, I decided to look at some TED Talks about depression, and I came across a couple that really made me think a little about some of my thought processes, my habits, etc. Um, the first one, I'll link these in the description in order. So the first one is by a person by the name of, give me a moment, I should have been prepared, but I wasn't. Um, his name is Jake Tyler. This was at TEDx Brighton. So, one thing he said was on the topic of suicide, and I've quite often um, felt like I wanted to die and things like that. I've quite often simply wished I didn't exist ever so that um, I could not be, so that I could be not here and but nobody would ever be hurt by the fact that I wasn't here. And that's a big thing. I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to hurt my family. I don't want to hurt my friends, my loved ones. And one thing this guy pointed out is something that his doctor told him, or asked him, I should say. His doctor asked him, do you really want to die, or do you want to stop feeling the way you do? And that I really sat and thought about that for a moment, and I don't want to die. Um, but I don't want to feel like this anymore. Um, Things have been pretty rough lately, and I guess that's part of the reason why I'm doing this is just to maybe vent a little, get some stuff off my chest. Um, I've been compensating with things that I shouldn't be, such as alcohol lately. I've been cutting back on that, but it could very easily go to a place where I really don't want to be, such as alcoholism and sort of thing. But it's like, what do you do when that's the only way you really feel happiness? Um, Now, this is an important part that's going to tie into something I say in a few moments. Just remember this particular point. I was thinking that this was the only way I could feel happiness and things, was by drinking. And so I'd drink on my own. I would day drink, um, with the thought that, well, I don't work and things, and does it really matter? Um, I don't have any obligations and things like that, which really I do. I have an obligation to make myself a better person. I have an obligation to feel better, to heal. Um, this morning I've been thinking a lot on this. So that was one really important point that I saw today. Now the next one is by a person by the name of Jonathan Schoonmaker. I think that's how you say it. He was in TEDx Delft. I think that's how you say that. Um, and his TEDx was called How I Overcame Depression by Just Sitting Around, and he talked about a few different things, such as different approaches friends try to take to help you, and how they can have the best of intentions, but their words can hurt you. Um, the first one he brought up was the good life approach, which is your friends try to help, but you tell them you're depressed. And they say, but you have such a good life. What do you possibly have to be depressed about? Look at that guy over there who's paralyzed and he's so happy, and they're trying to lift you up, but the problem is all that does is make you feel bad for being depressed, and that makes you more depressed. And this comes from a good place, but they just don't understand that this is an illness. It's not something that you can just, you know, wish away because somebody else has it worse. If you have a broken leg, and it's clean break, but then you have somebody with a compound fracture, you can't suddenly wish and decide that your leg is better because they've got a worse break than you do. And the next one he brought up was about, what did he call it? The oh thanks I'm cured method. And this one was basically you talk to a friend about being depressed and things, and they turn around and say, well, I was depressed too, but you know how I got around it? I just stopped thinking about it, and I felt better. And maybe they did, and that's fantastic for them. I am so happy for them. But that's talking about situational depression, environmental depression. Um, that's not to discount either of those. Those are serious, serious issues too. But you come across somebody like me. I mean, I've got PTSD, anxiety issues, but I also have major depressive disorder, which they also know as clinical depression. And in my case, everything can be going perfect for me, and I can feel like I don't want to live. Um, that's because it's chemical. At the moment, a big issue with me is I think my meds aren't set up right, and I've been trying to get in to see a psychiatrist, but there aren't many where I live at the moment. Now, the third approach he brought up, and this one really made me think, is the just sit with me approach. Um, and that is, he talked to some friends about how he felt depressed and things like that, and some had the reactions of what I just spoke about. But then he had a friend ring him up and say, hey, we're out at the park, we've got some beers, we've got some pizza, come and hang out. And he went and hung out with them, and he felt a lot better. Um, no expectations. The depression wasn't brought up, it wasn't forced or anything like that. If you want to discuss it, cool. And I've done that with friends. I've always felt better afterwards, but sometimes it's just hanging out, it's having a laugh, it's just sharing time together. And sometimes you don't even need to be talking the whole time. Sometimes just sitting there quietly and having the presence there can help. Um, I might be go and visit a friend and they need to get on with something, so I'll sit there with my tablet and yeah, we're not conversing and things, but I'm just the presence can help. I mean, we're social animals, and while I am very much an introvert, I still crave human interaction. And like, I have quite a few friends on Discord that I'll bug each night to, if they want to talk on voice. And I felt that maybe I'm being a burden, maybe I'm being annoying in things, and I may well be, but at least now, since watching this, I have an understanding of why I'm doing this. And all my friends say it's not an issue and things, and thank you, thank you, thank you for that. Um, I will probably always ask, is it okay? Are you up to it and things? I'll probably, I suppose you could say over request it. Like some people over explain things. To me, it's there'll be things like saying things like, would you be up for a call? I understand if you're busy, and then I'll immediately jump to, oh, or if you just don't feel like it and things like that. And yeah, it helps a lot, and I can now understand why I do that, and thank you to all my friends that do understand that. So, uh, I'll put the link to that second video in the description as well, and you guys can check it out if it's. I don't rule your life, it's entirely up to you, obviously. Um, they are good watches. But yeah, I'll leave you to it. Happy New Year, everybody. I know in New Zealand it's a bit late, but it's New Year's Day for a lot of my friends. Stay safe, and yeah, I might try and do another video tomorrow or soon. I've got another one in mind, so take care, and I'll talk to you next time.